It's me, Sean Capri, and welcome to episode 165 of We the GamerCast. It comes to you every Monday on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Mother Loving YouTube. Every single Monday. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already. Subscribe, then it comes to you all the time, every single Monday. Because if you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. We talk about video games and other whole bunch of stuff. If you want to be on the show, very easy. Just tweet at me at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. A few things I want to get out of the way right out of the gate, guys. Let's thank our people at patreon.com/makeusbetter. You make us better all the time. Us, Nintendo Nostalgia, and Warp Whistle Gaming, and holy crap, so many other people, PSVG, and of course Joseph Moran. It's all thanks to our producers, especially our platinum executive producers, Mr. Corey Hicks at twitch.tv/chicks_18, and Mr. Mark Moody at youtube.com/outoflives. Our gold executive producers, Mike BC and Panache Malloy, and all of our executive producers, Stephen Iafrate, JoeySplats, Caro, Underwood, Dante, Bellini Jr., Jared Gauthier, Dude427, Kevin Austin, Josh Borbone, Tammi Ryan, Robert Bobby Miller, Tim Aulph, Tom and Tim Aulph. Maybe there's a Tom. Tim, love you, buddy. Joel Brooks, Martini Jean, David Ray, and Jesse Armstrong. Guys, thank you so much. We have a very special episode here for you. I will be talking to Sarah Daniels. It's hard to say not I'm Sarah Daniels, just because that's how I know her on twitch.tv/I'm Sarah Daniels and twitter.com/I'm Sarah Daniels. This is a good heart-to-heart for somebody that, like, before a week ago, I had never met. I had never been aware of her streams, and then all of a sudden a tweet came out and I was like, you got to be on the show. And we're going to get to that in just a second. There is something that has been going on for those of you who have been listening for a little while. Every episode for the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of jumping into 3 things I've been grateful for, and it's definitely been helping my mood, and I know a lot of you have been kind of like reaching back to me. So let's do the 3 things that I'm grateful for, and if you guys like, you can leave something in the comments or tweet. I think there's like kind of a cool thing going on, man. Like last week was awesome. A lot of people, you guys reaching out. 3 things you're grateful for. It's just going to put your mind in a positive space. Even if you're having a rough day, it's just like, let's think about things that are great. And for me, 3 things. First of all the people who are doing this thing, I'm grateful for you guys. Grateful for everybody who's like thinking this is a good idea. And I think you're helping somebody else. The second thing I'm grateful for is the people who take the time out of their day to reach out to the guests and let them know that they had a great show. I know a lot of people reached out to JoAfterWork last weekend, especially Antonio Guillen, and we had a bonus episode in the last, I don't even know, 10 days or so. So thank you guys so much. I know it takes just that little extra effort. Rather than complaining about something on the internet, you're actually kind of supporting, and that means so much to me. So thank you guys for doing that. And the third thing that I am grateful for that I actually have to maybe replace now is my therapist. I have been seeing a therapist since late December of last year, and she just accepted a new position with the local school board. She has to go move on. So I'm grateful for the journey that we went on, and I'm just excited to see what's next for that. So a little scared, excited, but a little like kind of like, okay, well, she's no longer there, so now what? So we'll see. Probably see somebody new, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Speaking of keeping you updated, you need to know about Extra Life. Go to our Discord. The link is in the YouTube. It's also in the show notes for the podcast and everything like that. Go to the Discord. Nathan Thomas has started an Extra Life for the Make Us Better family. So let's all join up there. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be fundraising for it, but I'm going to be like jumping into people's streams and chats, and I will be there like a mofo as much as I possibly can. But with a baby coming pretty much like the next week, possibly even that day, who even knows? Nobody knows how this stuff works. We'll have to see, but I want to make sure that you guys know that Extra Life is happening, and the Make Us Better family is making it happen. So please join. If you guys have any reason to stream or want to play games for 24 hours, there is no better reason than to do that. So please join us there. But other than that, guys, we're gonna get right into it. I just finished talking to Sarah about maybe a couple hours ago. Been hanging out with Lincoln. We're watching some Disney songs, sing-along songs. It's been a great day. But this is a special one, guys. We're going to do the whole gamut. You know, for those of you who've been listening for a little while, you know exactly what I mean. For those of you who are new, please enjoy my chat with Sarah Daniels. Random life stuff. I've been checking out a few of your videos, so I have a couple things that I wanted to maybe get there, but we'll see. Okay. We'll see if time permitting, because we got to get to streaming, and I've got Mario Kart to play later. There's so many things.
So much to cover.
I took my son out to just the park around here. But it's Canada, so we have to go inside. You can't be outside for any length of time.
Of course.
So he just like played on the slide for an hour. So he just kind of just crawled up the steps. But that's where these bags come from, in case you were wondering.
I don't sleep. All I do is go to the gym and then stream. So,
jealous.
I understand the pain, but no child yet, just a cat.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Someday?
Well, I'm getting married in the fall, so...
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Oh,
it's
that's
actually
awesome.
coming up so soon, and we finally, like, everything's paid, everything's done.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, the worst part about getting married is just everything that isn't the wedding itself.
Big time. Yeah, my wife and I got married on a cruise ship in Florida, actually, so...
Hilarious.
I was actually really funny. Oh, no way! Look at this.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
Yep. Yep.
So are you there now? Are you in Florida now? Or
No, I live in the New York City area.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Man.
it's all right.
What? Those are like my
alright.
2 favorite places. I've been to New York like
out.
5 or 6 times. I got married in Florida. I love Disney World and all that kind of stuff.
Hilarious.
But my wife and I have sort of like joked about, what if we were just to retire in Florida? And she doesn't realize that like everybody retires in Florida. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's definitely a thing. But like Florida is pretty great. I mean, I grew up there and I was a Disney princess for 12 years. So it's just like an aggressive amount of time to live there. But every time I go back, I love it. Like I'm going back Monday for vacation. That's why I have like suitcase and boxes and all the garbage.
Oh, you're ready to go. It's like we'll finish packing or finish do this and then we'll just walk up the door.
Trying.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, thank you again for doing this. But I did want, maybe while we're talking about Florida and growing up there, I kind of wanted to get a sense of like, what is like your gaming origins? Like everybody sees you on stream now and killing it at Destiny and everything else, but like, where does that all come from? And there's a certain tweet that we're definitely going to get to.
I can't wait.
I think it's good, but I want background. I got to do my homework here a little bit, bring everybody kind of up to speed because I think it feeds into that part of the conversation. So you didn't just start playing games because, you know, you can do it on the internet now.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious, like where it started for you.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like how did you get into video games is a question that we ask women so often because it's like, it's such a male-dominated activity. It's like sports or anything else. People just expect men to do that. So they're like, oh, how did you get into it? Like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, was it an accident? Like, were you...
Yeah, like, did you fall onto a console and you were like, maybe I should play this thing? So my sister and I, we always liked, like, Kinects and, like, Legos and stuff, like, cool buildy stuff. And so our parents... My dad's a psychologist. They never like pigeonholed us into like princesses and like pretty stuff. So when I was younger, I don't even remember when it started, but my parents bought us a Super Nintendo. And we had so many games, but my favorite memory from like Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis was like my favorite system.
You guys had both?
Yeah, we had both.
Oh man, that's a good household.
Fancy house.
No big deal.
No big deal. But the Genesis had this game called Wacky World where you had a mouse and a mouse pad and you could like build worlds and you could make music. It was unbelievable.
I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. And I kept talking about it on stream and people were like, you're lying? There was never a mouse pad or a mouse. So I went home to my parents recently. They were cleaning out the garage. And we found my Super Nintendo with mouse pad and Genesis with mouse pad. And I was like, everyone get wrecked. You're all wrong. I'm right. You don't know anything. So we played, you know, we had like the girly games. Like there was this like My Crystal Pony game. But then we loved Sonic the Hedgehog. And then, you know, Super Nintendo with Super Mario RPG. Like, come on. Like, best. Oh,
you're
man,
playing all the
so
things.
Good.
First of all, there's so much here, Sarah. This is hilarious. First of all, I don't think that gamers will ever grow out of like you're full of shit thing, because like I've been doing that since I was 6 years old. Like you're lying, that's not true. Like because there's always like these weird secrets. Like the thing when I was a kid, everybody was saying on Mario, like on the NES Mario, you could jump over the pipe at the end, like when it's just that animation in between levels. Everybody said there was a way to jump over, or like all these like nonsensical things. Yeah. But it was like we've been calling each other liars forever. So I love that now here you are with like. Possibly grown-ups on the internet calling you a bullshitter. It's crazy.
And I always, you know, I recount stuff like this, and then I remember, you know, when I guess I must have been like 12-ish, maybe younger, 11, 12, and I was doing this ballet 6-week dance camp in the summer. It was like an intensive for people training to be professionals, and it was every day, like an aggressively early time till very, very late, and it was my birthday, and I was opening presents, and there's a video. and I look like I'm half asleep, and I'm opening presents, and I open up Majora's Mask on the 64, and I look at the camera and I go, "Do I have time to play?" And my mom was like, "Well, you have to get dressed for dance," and I do this. Open up my jacket and I'm fully dressed, like ready to go.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's so funny, and it's like the pure, just like, do I have time? Look, I'm dressed.
I love it.
It's so funny, and like I don't know, and even as a kid, like I remember finding friends in school who liked games like Final Fantasy.
Oh, that's good.
Final Fantasy is the series that got me like just so obsessed. Like Zelda, of course, duh. Super Mario RPG, like stuff like that. Yes, but like Final Fantasy. Like love stories, those kinds of storylines got me like wrecked, like so hooked, just aggressively hooked.
I have heard so many people talk about Final Fantasy and like their love for Final Fantasy. And my whole thing is that like people who grew up playing like RPGs like that, you guys are automatically smarter than me. So that's first and foremost, because I was too dumb to figure those things out. But you're the you're the first person to talk about the love stories in them. I think we get there maybe with like maybe Kingdom Hearts or something like that. But like the first thing you brought up was love stories in Final Fantasy. I find that fascinating.
And it's funny because, you know, video games are generally guided towards men. That's just how it is. So when you have these games like Final Fantasy where there's actual love stories that develop, not like Super Mario where it's like, oh, him and Peach should totally be dating, but like it's not a thing. Like she's always gonna be like, nah, you know, and like Zelda and Link, she's just kind of like, nah, you know.
She's like, are we brother and sister or not?
Yeah. Like, she's like, what's the tea? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So then you've got Final Fantasy, and like Final Fantasy IX is my ultimate favorite game. I've replayed it like 17 times. I'm replaying it right now, and you know, it's this amazing story of like Princess and the Pauper. You know, you've got this girl who's becoming queen, and you've got this dude who's like a thief, and he performs in an acting troupe, which is hilarious. But they use that as a trope to like steal, which is crazy. So like they fall in love, and it's so sweet and so relatable and beautiful, and like the characters just so well developed. It's just, oh man, like replaying Final Fantasy IX has me like,
we are torn from the same cloth, because when I get like so excited about a game, like I become like, I can't even talk. Like it's just
like a different human.
But it's like you're 5 years old again.
Yeah.
And it's like, Mom, and I did this thing, and it was this stuff, and then this other thing happened, and you're just like, you can't even. And it's
you can't even. Like you're a white girl and you can't even.
Exactly.
Like,
that's how I feel. Thank you. I've never really been able to figure that out. Like, what do I feel like? You're right. I feel like a white girl who can't even.
You feel like a white girl who can't even. She just went to Starbucks, got a pumpkin spice latte. She can't even.
I was going to make that the title of the episode. I was just about making a note, but I'm like, that might come across the wrong way, because I might be talking about me, but like, no, we don't want to. We don't give people the wrong way. So you said you had a sister. You said you had a dad who's a psychologist. I kind of wanted to dive into a little bit of this stuff too. This is the show, by the way. Like, do we just like, you think you're gonna come and talk about video games, but it's a whole farce. We talk like this much to video games, and then it's just the rest of life. We really do. This show is like, quite honestly, like probably saved my life. But this is, I wanted to dive into you and your sister growing up. Like, who's older, who's younger, like who's introducing who to what and all that stuff.
Oh, so good. So the only person in our 4-person family, my mom, my dad, my sister, and I.
Same here.
The only people who play video games are my mom, my sister, and I. My dad does not play games.
Love it.
So we're just the not typical. So what I remember of, you know, like the addiction starting is like, you know, as kids, me and my sister would play together, and sometimes we'd like switch off like harder parts, you know, like I'd do the easy parts because my sister's 3 years older than me.
There it is.
And we would switch off, and like she would do the harder stuff, and she'd backseat game me when I would play, you know, typical family. And then one night she came home. I'll never forget. I remember the moment that this happened. We were all sitting around the TV, and my sister was like, I just went over to Sarah Campbell's house, and her brother was playing this game on PlayStation. Sarah Campbell. I remember it all. Sarah Campbell. She had a brother, and he was playing Final Fantasy VII. And Alyssa was like, we have to get a PlayStation because we have to get this game Final Fantasy VII. And my parents were like, oh, I don't know. So we all sat around the TV to watch it, to make sure it was okay, you know, for kids. And that first scene comes up with Eris in the market and the graphics, and you're like, what is this? Like, this is the greatest thing. After coming out of, you know, like N64, like, it was just unbelievable. And so we would all just sit around, like, as a family and like watch Final Fantasy VII, or like we would play it together. And one time I saved over her game. We still talk about it.
Classic.
Because,
yep.
Oh my God. I saved over her game. I was so young. I was like 8, right? So like that Halloween, I dressed up as Eris for Halloween. No one knew who I was except some boys. Anyway.
That's amazing.
So my mom and I, like, then my sister would, like, do her own thing, and my mom and I would do the switching off thing, like, where I'd play the hard stuff, and my mom would play the easy stuff. And we did that with, like, Kingdom Hearts. We did that with the Final Fantasy games. We'd, like, watch them and play them together. And so my dad, just, like, he's just a doctor chilling and, like, what's up? Cool, guys.
Yep, gonna go back to work now.
Games. Like, dude, have fun.
How did your mom get into it?
I think it was, she grew up with brothers, and I think they had the Atari. And so, like, she was just kind of interested in it by being around them. And then once we had so many systems in the house, it was like, that was it. My mom still plays World of Warcraft.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's the title of the show.
My mom plays
WoW.
And it's so funny because, like, she offers to pay for me to play it. Because, like, I'm like, I can't play it. I have to pay monthly. Like, I can't. Like, it's too much. I just, whatever. I want to do other stuff. So she's like, I will pay for you to play it. So she did for a while, and then I just felt too bad, and so I canceled it. But
you guys could play World of Warcraft together. You could go off on your everything.
We used to have, so my mom's name, she watches my channel, and her name's Wally Spam. And so on Wednesdays, I used to do Wow Wally Wednesday.
Yes.
Play with my mom, and she's so dope. Like, I'm lucky. My parents are just unbelievable.
No kidding. Yeah. I've just kind of, like, my dad calls my the podcast a blog, so he kind of, like, mixes up all the words and stuff. Like,
that's adorable.
That's one way to put it. It's also like, come on, Dad, like, it's a podcast, and this will be the time we'd be like, I'm gonna check out Sean's blog, and you'll listen to my podcast and let's hear me slamming him a little bit. So your mom grew up with video games. Your dad's a psychologist. What's that like, having a dad as a doctor? I'm sure very busy, but also, like, is he psychoanalyzing you at every turn?
You know, I'm sure that he is, but he would never give advice unless asked. So, like, if I'm having any life issues and I need advice, I'll ask him, and he'll give me the most amazing, like, Yoda advice.
Really?
And it's wonderful. Yeah. But if I'm just living my life, he won't give me any advice.
That's amazing.
Like, if I'm just existing, he'll just mind his business.
Yeah.
Until I say, hey, I need advice. And then he's like, all right, I got you. But until then, nothing. He just lets us do our thing. And I think that really helped me growing up as someone who, I started working very young. I started doing professional ballets when I was 8, and I was a model when I was that age too. And then I went on tour when I was 13, and, like, I've just been working for so long. And my dad, like, thank goodness I had a father who could, like, coach me through just, like, existing and, like, being busy and, like, working as a youth.
Yep.
But he's never made me feel like, mind your business. He's always very just, like, chillin' until you need him, which is awesome.
My goodness. You must need, like, a psychologist degree to grow up in a household, maybe with 3 women as well. Like, did he feel, like, isolated in a way, or just, like...
My dad's kind of a softie.
Is he? I'm sure.
So, yeah, he's like, he gets, like, my mom sends me pictures constantly of him in, like, my stream swag, like my Sarah Daniels club. Yeah, like, he's very
super
sentimental, very sweet, and just a softie. Like, me and my mom are definitely more like, get over it. But, like, he's more, like, so sweet. Like, he's just, I love my dad.
Yeah, that's, we're about to have a daughter, and that's probably going to be me as well. Like, she's going to grow up being like, whatever, Dad, and I'll be like, oh my God, let's get together, let's talk, let's whatever. Yeah, no, it's that, So I'm just trying to, like, pick up little notes everywhere, wherever I can. So, okay. Growing up with basically every system, let's get back to games for a second. I wanted to ask you about, like, the acquisition of every console, basically. Like, so for some people, like, they gotta, like, beg, plead, and steal so they can get, like, whatever the next console is. You kind of talked about, like, sitting around watching the game, which I think is amazing, given that you ended up getting into streaming later. So, like, watching other people play has just been, like, part of what you do, part of what you grow up. So, like, is it birthdays only? Is it, like, we want this thing when it comes out? Like, what are some of those acquisitions like?
I don't remember the acquisition of the NES, like our first, like, Super NES,
you were
or the
born
Sega. Yeah, it kind of just arrived
Yep.
and like showed up, and here I was. I think that the Super Nintendo was like gifted to us. Maybe I might be wrong, from like another family that didn't use it, and
Oh
then
my gosh, what a mistake.
yeah, idiots.
Yeah.
So I believe the Genesis was like a new purchase. The N64 was definitely like a Christmas.
You're like
and
the
then,
N64 kid, just like losing it, like the Majora's Mask story.
yeah,
I love that.
yes, the N64 kid for sure. And then the PlayStation 1, I believe that was bought specifically because Final Fantasy was a thing.
Yep.
So the first PlayStation 1, you remember the big like blocky one?
Oh yeah.
And then we bought another one, the smaller one, because I was going on tour. And I'm going to show it to you because I have it in my
Gotta
closet.
take it with you. No, this is my
This is
favorite
very
part.
important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I start the show just like, and everybody, she can't even hear me right now, but for those of you listening, I start the show. You already know this by now too. I start the show just talking for like 10 minutes, filling up absolutely empty space. We now have a Barbie box on the desk
Yes.
here. Amazing.
Barbie box on the desk, which is like even funnier. I have this vintage Barbie box where I keep my PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
This is my relic. This is what I took on tour with me. It was a PlayStation 1 that had a pop-up screen.
Yes. I love that.
And it had a battery pack that attached to it that was just garbage. It only worked for like an hour and a half, but I beat Spyro
Pretty
on
good.
the bus. Yeah. Oh, Spyro's in here right now.
Oh my God. I love
Yeah.
that.
So this thing's dope, and it still works. And I keep it in this like vintage case with
looks
all
pristine.
the plugs. It is. And it says my name on the box. So you can't see it because the lighting, but
Says
it
your
says
name on
Sarah
it.
Daniels. Yeah, make sure everybody knows. But I would like bring it to the theater, plug it into the wall, and just play. And I was playing Final Fantasy IX on tour too.
So were you
But,
ever
like-
like the weird one ever? Because like I know me growing up, like there was definitely like the kids who played video games, and as I got older, that group was smaller and smaller and smaller. Now the internet, now
Yeah.
we all play video games.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, what was that like growing up with like this huge obvious obsession with games? Like it seemed like you just like didn't care. Like you just like this.
Yeah.
I love games and like doesn't matter.
I've never cared, and I think that's why streaming is easy, because as a female on the internet, just already you're a target for harassment.
Yeah, nice going.
But yeah,
being
right.
female. Yeah.
Gosh,
Good job.
rude.
Yeah.
Good job. You got the internet.
Super
dummy.
inconvenience for me.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
So I think that, thank goodness that I don't care. I've just never cared.
Yeah.
Like, if someone thinks I'm a weirdo, great. If someone thinks I'm cool, great. If someone thinks I'm mean, fine. If someone thinks I'm not mean, fine. It
Are you
doesn't
mean though?
it's never
Are you
mattered.
mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
You're like, well, fine, because like maybe they're a little bit right too.
They're right sometimes. Only sometimes. Here's the thing, I'm never mean unless you're mean to me first. But if you're mean to me first, then like bets off. Like,
Don't fire
you
unless
don't
fired
dish
upon.
it. Exactly. If you can't take it, don't dish it. Don't do it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's been really helpful just in life. And I mean, I'm a professional actor, so like thank God I've never cared. I'm like, oh, you like I'm not right for the part? Great, see ya. On to the next. You know? So
But that
I don't know.
also takes some training though a little bit too, doesn't it? It's something like a little bit of practice of like the whole like don't care. Like it's I don't know. Maybe it is more natural to some people, and maybe that's where
I think it does come somewhat naturally, because like I care more about like my weight than I do about how people think about me. Like I have like severe body dysmorphia, so that's my struggle. But everything else, I don't care. Like if someone thinks I'm fat, I don't care, because I already like that's my struggle. So anyone else's like the way that they see me it just doesn't matter. But like my
Right.
fiance, for example, also an actor, doing it professionally for just as long as me, and he cares so much about what people think. He's like, did I say something weird? Do your friends think I'm weird? Did I say something funny? Did I say something weird at the party? Like, do you think that people think I'm weird? And I'm like, babe, babe,
that probably goes over really well.
matter.
What,
Yeah,
okay, so but is that like an opposites kind of like complement each other? My wife are opposite in so many different ways. We both
Yeah.
love video games. The memory I'll have of her for the rest of my life is like going over to her condo when we first started dating, and I just like she had a ground level condo, so you could come in through the back door or whatever.
Yeah.
Which sounds awful.
No, I
just
totally
slide
picture
in,
it.
and she's there playing Ocarina of Time, and she's like, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, just a second. Like she gives me like the hang on a second, like as she's playing through, and I'm like, I should be mad because she's kind of just like shooing me away, but I'm like, this is kind of the best thing ever. Like, I basically just got down on a knee right there. We were dating for like 3 weeks at that time.
You were like, we should just marry
like,
right now.
I think I just need to marry this girl. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so is it like an opposites kind of thing that helps you guys kind of like balance each other out in that way?
I think so, because like I just don't care. Like, I don't want to hurt anyone, but like, I don't care what people think of me or the things, like, if I have an opinion and I speak it, like if I tweet something that's controversial and people are mad, I'm like, too bad.
Yep.
Too bad. That's my opinion. That's me. It's not you. That's fine. You don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it even. Just, it's not you. So don't worry about it.
I'm kind of glad that this is actually, I thought that this mentality was disappearing a little bit, Sarah. So I'm actually kind of glad that this is still kind of persisting in a way, maybe even just in small areas. But the fact that it's like a light of hope for us. That you are allowed to have an opinion. And and it's not like you're outwardly, and maybe we can get right into it too. Because the tweet that you had on a few days ago, I'm like, I got to talk to Sarah about this because I don't see anybody talking like this anymore. So I really appreciated it. And you said on July 27th, because I got the tweet right here, you said, yo, we have to stop this attitude that is completely impossible for pretty girls to grow up liking video games. No one popped out of the womb as a hot chick. Everyone was once a child. Video games are fun and universal. You don't have to be MLG to have fun, which I'm like, I didn't even get to the MLG part, to be honest with you. I don't even know what that means because I'm old. But I love this, like, this notion, because with this show, I love exploring, like, growing up and then, like, going from a kid to an adult. But I've never explored it from, like, oh, yeah, I suppose, like, you don't grow up, like, looking like you do when you're streaming. Yeah. And now, like, that's the case. So I kind of wanted to see, like, first of all, like, where did this maybe, like, what prompted you to kind of go, like, yo,
I just like dropped full knowledge. Like, I was, okay, so here's how this happened. I was sitting on the couch and I was actually having a conversation on stream, like afterwards in Discord with someone I play with a lot, a good friend. And we were just talking about how frustrating it is when people come into my chat and, like, first of all, the tweet isn't me saying I'm a pretty girl. It's just me saying, like, hey, we have to stop this idiocy. So someone,
did you check your privilege? Is that a privilege checking situation? I don't really understand that.
I have to literally check my privilege and be like, I don't think I'm pretty, everyone. It's okay. But, like, I'm okay. I'm fine. I do all right for myself. So we were talking about how it's frustrating when people come in and they're like, wow, it's nice to finally see, like, a hot girl, like, being good at games or, like, actually playing the game or, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, well, that's not a compliment. That's rude. Just because, like, you see a girl who you think is attractive playing a game doesn't mean you get to flame women on Twitch who are maybe doing things differently than how you want them to. You know, there's this constant conversation about the IRL directory and, like, well, these girls are using their bodies to make money and stealing views. Okay, sir, your Fortnite YouTube has 1 subscriber. It's your mom. She's not, like, no one who wants to watch your Fortnite stuff is gonna want to watch those girls and vice versa. So we need to stop being mad. Like, I don't go into, you know, someone's burger shop and be like, burgers are the worst. Like, donuts are where it's at. You're stealing viewers from the donut shop. No one's looking at those donuts anymore. They just want burgers. It's your fault. Nah, someone who wants a donut is gonna get a donut. They're not gonna get a burger. And vice versa.
Hang on, now you got me thinking about, maybe, is that the case?
You're like, wait, have I done that?
Do I spoil my appetite with the donuts?
Just like...
Sorry.
It just frustrates me so much because I don't care about what other people are doing. If, like, particularly if their content and my content don't align. They're not stealing my viewers. Yeah. Like, they're in a different directory and they're doing different things, and that's okay. I'm not gonna have the same viewers as, like, my friend Dr. Lupo, who's like a stellar Fortnite player who plays competitively. I play PvE casually in games. That's what I do. No one who wants to watch MLG gameplay, snipes from 5,000 meters is gonna watch me, you know? So I'm not like, wow, Dr. Lupo, you suck. You're stealing my viewers because you're sniping. Like, nah, that's
Here's the other thing that I really like about the way that you kind of talk about this too, is the, like, what where my mind went to. Maybe I'll just do this on your behalf. I don't know. But, like, I suck at games. I'm, like, average looking at best. And streaming is like, so why isn't anybody going to me like, hey, what the hell? Like, why are you streaming? Why are average looking guys? Why are average intelligence guys? My biggest thing is that there's probably too many, like, and maybe I should just take myself out of the picture so that I actually like practice what I preach here. But like, I really like Andrew Renee is probably one of the smartest people, period, in video games. And she articulates herself in a way that I really appreciate. And then I look at like the dozen other podcasts that I listen to, or people who kind of comment on the industry. And it's like, do you really even have like much to say? So why did it take like this magical formula of an attractive, smart, like intelligent person who has done all of her training? Like, you got to like check every single box and more. So I get like I get a little frustrated about that as well, almost on behalf. But I like that that's not even where you went. You're just kind of talking about like the types of streamers that there are on the internet.
Yeah, and there's, you know, I know that there's this mindset of like, you know, if you're a female and you're on Twitch, you probably like picked up a controller a year ago because you saw that there was another girl making money on Twitch. You put a like low cut shirt on and you sit there and you make money. Like, people think that as a female with a low cut shirt on playing video games, people just throw money at you. First of all, lies. Second of all, a lot of girls just wear low cut shirts because they're more comfortable, because like, I wear a t-shirt and a pajama pant because I'm afraid of people saying, oh, well, she's showing skin. Like, oh, well, whatever. Like, my friend Vicky is, like, hot. Like, so hot. Gorgeous hair, beautiful face, big old boobs, is a great gamer, and gets crap constantly because she has boobs.
Meanwhile, I wear a low-cut shirt and don't get any crap at all. So thank you guys for that.
Not
like,
fair. Like, it's so stupid. Like, you're allowed to be pretty and also like games. And like, I know, like, some people are like, wow, so like you're saying ugly girls don't deserve respect. Okay, first of all, nobody's ugly. That's an opinion and a mean word to say about people, first of all. Everyone has something redeeming about them, regardless. I don't care. Second of all, nothing justifies being rude to anyone or saying that someone doesn't do something because of their gender.
Right.
So obviously I include everyone, but you know, it's women who like wear makeup and do their hair and like dress cute and post photos on Instagram. Those kind of women couldn't have possibly just liked playing games.
Also, has anybody like tried to set up a stream? Like, I know it's getting easier and easier as time goes on.
What, really? Oh my gosh, half of my day is me fixing problems.
Yep.
Like, you have to either hire a designer, which costs money, or design it yourself, or like have a friend, like an amazing designer who will do stuff for you for free. And then you have to set up OBS, audio, a mixer. You have to set up overlays, graphics, notifications, cameras, a camera rig, lighting, monitors, computer, like,
yeah.
what?
No, only guys are credited for actually like figuring all that stuff out. Like, you probably just like watch maybe a YouTube video, right?
I faked building my computer on stream. I faked it.
Why? What? Oh, no, you're joking. That one slipped by. That one slipped by. Right.
I did this, and someone put their arms through mine, and they built the PC while I just sat there.
You need to do the robot maybe just a little bit more. What do you run in your PC, by the way? Like, what kind of rig you got there?
My rig's okay. It's like I was a pre-build that I then took apart and put a new motherboard on. I have
badass, man.
Oh, not great.
I love it.
It's really just pre-built, but just taken apart. So I have new fans. I added new fans. I took out the motherboard. Basically everything's new. It's just like the old case. So I have I'm running an Asus motherboard with a 1080 Ti. And I have 2 internal capture cards. I have a Magewell and an Evermedia, which was a gift from a friend.
Is the Magewell the dual one? Do you have like?
I don't have the dual one. It was like $1 billion.
I know.
I had a friend buy it for me, and I was like, "Don't do it."
Oh wow,
don't.
Good friend.
It's so expensive. Good friend. So yeah, I run 2 internal capture cards. I'm an i7 6700. It's the 6th gen. It's okay. I run 16 gigs of RAM. I have a Corsair like hydro cooling.
See, I need one of the listeners. His name is Rybo. I need Rybo to tell me all of these things. He knows my system better than I do, because he's helped me out with like I had like a power supply unit problem like once upon a time, and my computer just wasn't turning on, or like it would freeze up for a little bit and then shut off, and I'm like, I have no idea. And he's like, you know what? Sounds like your power supply unit. And I'm like, how? You're not even here. Like a magician.
That's exactly. I have a friend, Power GPU. If anyone ever needs PC help, he is unbelievable. He is crazy good. He helped like Myth and a bunch of other streamers, Lucky and Buttwipe, make their PCs amazing.
Sorry, what was the last one that you said that really
Lucky
quickly?
and Buttwipe,
That
Thankfully
is
Trials.
the
They're
best.
Destiny PvP players, and they're wonderful humans. But
Lucky
yeah, so for
Buttwipe.
me, I actually think the only thing that still stands for my old build is the wires, like the cabling and the power supply unit. That's all that stands. Oh, and the hard drive. I have an SSD in there. I just haven't transferred the stuff over. I put it in and was like, I'll do it later.
Because like honestly, who the hell has time for that? So you said earlier you go to the gym, you sleep, you stream. You have a 7-day schedule going on right now. Since the beginning of July, is that what happened when you started that?
So because I'm a professional actress, I do musicals all over the country, and I just came from Canada doing Grease, but I'm often out of town, often traveling. So my stream schedule when I'm in a show, shows are at night, so I have to stream at like 2 p.m., and then I stream till like, 6:30, go to my call time, do my thing. But I can't do 7 days a week normally because sometimes we'll have 2 shows Saturday, 2 shows Sunday. So like streaming between shows is crazy when you're doing a 2.5-hour musical. So 7 days is my preference. I don't like to take days off. I have really bad anxiety, and days off as well as missing or being late to streams makes me nutty cuckoo. Like yesterday, I was, 2 minutes late, and I was like, well, my career's over. I'm never streaming again. No one's going to watch my thing. Like, literally, I was panicking.
Yeah.
I was like, no one's going to watch my stream. I just lost all my subscribers. I'm 2 minutes late. I'm not consistent, so nobody's going to like me. I'm crazy.
No, but okay, so I wanted, like, I laugh and I'm like, I hope you know that I'm laughing, like, with you, because there's certainly, like, a shared kind of, like, that when things kind of get way out of hand in your own head, and, like, I feel like a lot of people listening to this make their own stuff as well, so we've all kind of been there, and you make up, like, your own rules for, like, how people are going to react, and then you enforce those rules, like, twice as hard as anybody else even realizes they exist. So
and it's just you. It's like, you work for yourself. Like, I work for myself. So, like, Sarah, you're allowed to be late. Like, chill out. You don't have to go to the gym, but I have to go to the gym because I'm crazy.
So, but the 7-day thing, is that why? Like, is it part of the rules that you set up for yourself? Like, you're, like, I don't know. Do I need to, like, say this? Like, Sarah, you're allowed to take a day off.
I know.
Like,
I
2
have my
even.
friend...
You can even do 2. I don't know. We can take, like, 1 step at a time here.
Well, it's funny because, like, streamers, when we take vacations... I mean, we just lose subscribers. Yeah. And it's not always a loss. Like, sometimes it's just that people are waiting for you to get back on so they can resub. But, I'm sitting in Mexico looking at my dashboard going, like,
that chart is just going, pew, like, but not really, like, maybe just a little bit, but in your mind, it's like going through the floor.
In my head, it's like, and I'm not even a huge streamer. I'm a small streamer, I typically have around like 80 to 150 viewers. So I'm a small streamer. I'm not making 50 grand a month. I'm just out here paying my rent, Yeah. But like, still, to me, taking vacation, taking a day off, I'm like, if I had been on, like, maybe something big would have happened. Maybe, something good would have happened. Somebody would have seen my thing, So, and then the more sponsors you get, the more you're like, oh, I feel like I have to be on more so I can promote the product, so I can, like, help them, so that they're like...
You're going crazy. Like a I don't mean to, like, maybe we can, like, well, by the end of it, because I know you want to go on after this, we'll try and, like, maybe have, like, a chai tea or something together.
Seriously.
But, like, okay, so I never really even thought of, like, why, or maybe I can ask you before I even suggest, like, why do you think people unsubscribe when a streamer takes a break, or even takes a day off?
I honestly think that it's really Prime subs more than anything. Right. Because Prime subs fall off. So when they fall off, you have 30 days to continue your streak. But Prime subs, you will usually, wait till you're back on. But sometimes if you're on vacation, your Prime sub's up, then they're like, well, I'll take it to another streamer. Right. So, like, generally, like, tiered subs stick around. And Prime subs are the ones that usually fall off. But, I mean, at the end of the day... I sit here at my desk, I see my chat, and I go, how am I even allowed to do this? Like, how these people allow me to do this for my job in between shows and support me endlessly. And that's shocking. If I had 4 subs, I'd be like, well, guys, we made it. We made it. This is the big leagues. We're famous. We did it. We're playing games. I
love that. And you, man, me and you're so similar in that way. Like, you can see, like, both sides of it, where you're like, you appreciate, like, just that littlest thing, but then, like, you kind of keep going on, and then like that one criticism or that one little like negative thing, whatever that
Yeah.
happens to be, somebody says something or something happens and you're like, God help us all. It's all
Yes.
falling apart.
That's it. My life's over. Yeah.
So
it's so odd.
Who supports you in that, in those in those times?
My chat, honestly,
Yeah.
like, because I'm so candid, which I haven't decided if it's a good or a bad thing. I just, if I think it, I say it. And my chat, I'll say stuff sometimes, you know, like when Destiny 2 started to fall off, and people started to really start hating on the game a lot, my viewership just plummeted. My subscriber base plummeted almost half. And I was panicked. I was really nervous for the future of my stream and like worrying about like, okay, well, I just
Because you still wanted to play Destiny.
Yeah, I love Destiny.
Yeah.
And like, and then it made me realize, well, I should be doing more variety because I play a million zillion games. I didn't play shooters until 2014 when Destiny came out. Like, I never had played a shooter. That just wasn't my thing. RPGs only. And then Destiny came out and the PvE was so fun and playing with friends was so fun. And it was just like, well, never liked shooters. I'm still pretty bad. I'm gonna play it though because I like the like rating, you know, like that kind of content I love. So I was like, well, what do I do? And then I had to like rethink my stream and I talked to a lot of my chat and be like, what do you think? Like, what do we think we should do? Like, what can we do as a community to like, you know, make more people want to be here?
Yeah.
But my chat has helped. Like, some of my chat are my best friends, and it's been unbelievable. Like, they've come out to see my shows, and it's been crazy. It's so cool. We had like this meetup in Little Rock, Arkansas, where I did Mamma Mia. People flew from all over the country to come see it, and we had like this weekend with like 10 people from like our community just coming to see the show and hanging out, and it was, I mean,
what'd you guys do?
We just ate and hung out and went and got drunk. And like there was one night we were all drinking at the bar and I was just like holding my heart, like looking around, like, I can't believe that this is real.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. So yeah, we just like hung out and ate and they came to see my show and it was amazing. And then one time I had them all over at my apartment, my 1-bedroom apartment. Everyone was in my apartment. It was, but these are people I know these people.
Sure.
Like, I've spoken with them so much. Like, I totally trusted them. And we were all just hanging out, and I was streaming. And it was like, I'd say something funny, and I would just hear them all laugh in different parts of the apartment. And it was like, it was like having a live studio audience.
Yes.
It was so funny.
Man, that's the next level.
Amazing.
That's the next level. Maybe that's what virtual reality will have us. Like, everybody can just be like, okay, now we'll have a 360-degree camera. Like, you can just like pop a squat and be right there. That's like next level couch co-op, man. Yeah,
it was really fun. And it was crazy to like form even like deeper friendships with people who like, you know, been playing with these people forever. And like, we're always chatting in Discord, playing the game, talking about life, like talking about our, you know, families and our lives and our jobs, and we just became close friends. And then all those people gathered in one spot.
That's
and
amazing.
We just weebed out. It was a maze.
Weebed out? Man, I'm so old.
Yeah.
I need to... I want to... Okay, so the observation I make there is that, like, the people who you were worried about, like, upsetting or alienating or whatever, ostracizing in a way, are the exact same people who kind of, like, hold you up. Like, don't you think that's kind of, like, beautiful?
Yeah. And like, that's what they always say. They're like, you're so stupid. Like, we love you. We're not gonna, like, we're here. We like to watch you play. We love to play with you. We like, you know, being silly with you and talking and, like, trolling each other, you know. It's just... I just feel so lucky.
I love that. One thing, because we definitely got to get you streaming tonight. But one thing, you brought it up, so I feel like maybe we can chat about it just a little bit. Otherwise, just like swap me away. But I was going through your stream, and one of the highlights was a video where you talk about 10 or 15 minutes about body dysmorphia. You brought it up briefly today. The video was from last fall, and so I was gonna ask you how are you doing now? But maybe it's still kind of like a thing that's
I'm so candid. I don't mind talking about it. I talk about it all the time. So yeah, I struggle daily, hourly, every second with serious body dysmorphia. I don't see myself as like being a thin person. I weigh like 103 pounds right now. In that video, though, I was like 5 pounds thinner than I am right now, which is so funny. I just, like, in that video, I might have been last fall I got down to about 96 pounds, which is really tiny.
Yep.
Even
and you
for
said that you could
me.
see yourself even lighter.
Yeah, my ideal weight is like 40 pounds. But I've never gotten help for it. I've just like decided that weighing my food and counting my calories and going to the gym obsessively every day is okay.
Yeah.
And then I finally, for the first time in my life, reached out to a eating disorder center in my area. And I haven't gone and done I have to do like a physical thing, whatever. They have to like take my blood and whatever.
Sure.
But I'm going to be going like 5 days a week there.
Good
to
for
like,
you.
To try to recover. And I'm like adding that to my schedule is going to be crazy. But it stems from Disney.
Yeah.
I was told in 2011 that I was my quote unquote silhouette wasn't like Ariel's, and they loved my show, but they thought that I needed to tone up. And since that day, I have not stopped thinking about food. All I think about is food. It's a horrible way to live, and it's a horrible way just to like exist.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that a lot of females go through and a lot of men go through as well. And I think that it's important to talk about it, especially being someone who's small. Like, I'm very small, but a lot of people are like, oh, well, she's small. Like, of course she thinks she's great. Like, you know, I post photos of my abs on Twitter, which means I must think I'm great. No, I post them because I need people to tell me that I look good.
Yeah.
That's why I post them.
Yeah.
Because I'm cuckoo in the brain and I need people to tell me that I'm okay, you know?
So what was it that finally got you to, like, was it a call? Did you have to like drive somewhere? Like, what was it that finally got you kind of started on this recovery path?
The more I weigh myself multiple times a day, and like the more I was around people, like someone on my last contract before I did Grease and Mamma Mia was like, hey, like I go to the gym with you every single day. I watch what you eat, and I also see you cry when you weigh yourself. Like, you need help. You have to get help. Like, I can't even be your friend if you're not going to get help. Like, you have to.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I finally was like, you know what? Screw it. And my insurance covers it 100%. So
thank God.
I literally don't have a choice. Like,
right.
I have to go. So yeah, hopefully it helps. I'm very nervous to start.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
My brother had it. So I grew up at a very young age trying to, like, he had a few. I don't know necessarily if it was like diagnosed with like body dysmorphia. I'm sure that's probably part of it, but certainly like anorexia, bulimia, like he would have panic attacks as well. So I
get those too.
Like mental health, like mental issues in our family just like runs rampant. And so that was my first sort of like blush with it. And I remember just not understanding.
Yeah.
Like just eat. Just
eat. Just figure it out.
That was like my first kind of like realization once, like, and it took a long time for me to really understand, like, I'm thinking about that way too rationally because like something irrational is happening. And so, but that you can't really get to that place without talking about all of it. So this show is very much about like people listening, people on the show. We all kind of come with whatever our demons or everything, but I feel like just the more and more we get to talk about these things, it's just better for like at least one other person. Maybe for ourselves too. Maybe there's like some selfish kind of aspect to it as well.
Absolutely.
But certainly like helping other people just to go, look, I've got all these other things on the go. I'm getting married. I've got I've got the stream 7 days a week, but like you're putting your health like first. You're finally kind of getting to that. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thanks. It's crazy. And it really is, the more that you talk about it and the more that you can connect with people, because like in this day and age, we have social media, which has been wonderful. Like, thank goodness for it. However, there's a lot of, people on Instagram who post the best of the best. Like, here's me looking skinny. Here's me being perfect. Here's me having an amazing day. Here's a candid of me laughing with my friends. Like, look at us, we're drinking mimosas and laughing.
Yeah, best life ever.
Best life ever. So there's this blinder that we're all putting up, and people are like, wow, like I wish my life was like that. So like I know that like I have people contact me and be like, oh my gosh, like I love seeing your fitness photos because it inspires me. And I'm like, well, guess what? Like I'm messed up. And that's why I talk about it, because I don't want people to think that like that's my best day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's a really good moment in time. That's not every day. You know, like what you don't see is me getting up, getting on the scale, crying, running 5 miles at the gym, lifting weights until I can't breathe, and like coming up, doing stream, you know? So like that's what people don't see. So I like to make myself appear real because I am. And I don't ever want people to be like, man, I just wish that things were, you know, that good. Like, you know, I don't ever want that.
This brings up, maybe this is one of the last things that I want to talk to you about, because I have struggled with this personally in terms of like, it becomes such a part of you, not necessarily for me, it's more like anxiety. And like, I had a really hard time when my son was about 5 months old, and just kind of like hit this point where I'm like, I feel awful. I can't even get up off the couch. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And so part of my almost like resistance or hesitance to get help or get healthy was like, well, this is who I am. Like, it was like, it was part of my identity. And so like, and that sucks. Like, that's the worst thing that you can really do. You lock yourself in because you're like, well, if I'm not this, then like, who am I? And you like kind of have to do I definitely had to do some like self-reflection on like, who was I before that I was happy with that I'm not now that I'm unhappy with. And I don't know, now I'm blabbing a little bit, but I don't know if that's part of
100%
what you kind of get with it too, because it's part of who you are, but like maybe there comes a time where you can actually like move away from that.
Yeah, I wish, like, it's hard because I use the excuse like, oh, well, I'm an actor and I play a specific type, right? So yeah, totally, I do have to be thin because of the type that I play. But I don't have to be a fitness model.
Right.
No one says, like, you have to weigh everything you eat, Sarah.
Right.
Like, no one says that. Not even, like, my agents don't even know when I'm gaining weight. Like, they have no clue. They're like, you look the same. Like, shut up. What are you doing? Like, you're fine. Like, my agents don't even know that I have, like, a massive issue with it, you know? So it's crazy. You just it becomes who you are. Yeah. And you're like, well, I'm the girl who weighs her food. I'm the girl who's always talking about counting calories. Like, that's who I am. But like, at a certain point, you have to just look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? This isn't me.
Yes.
This doesn't define me.
Right.
I'm other things. And
like, and for you especially, you're like 16,000 other things. Like right now you're podcasting, you're gonna be streaming, you got all these other things, like soon you'll be a wife, like all these other like amazing things. Like, yeah, anyway, I say that as kind of like a pep talk for whatever it's worth. I just really hope that, yeah, you find whatever it is that you're looking for in this new journey. Like, I just think that the first step is incredible. So you got this.
I'm scared.
I have a feeling that you just don't like give up though, like one way or another.
Man.
So like for that reason, then like you got this down already.
Yeah, there's no giving up, and I love busyness. I love to be busy. And you know, days off are dope, and I need to take, like, literally today I was just standing in the living room like staring at the carpet, and my fiance was like, what? I was like, I just really need to take a day. I need to take a day. Like, and I will, but you know, I like to be busy, and I like to be successful in what I do. Yeah. So I have to beat this, because if I don't, then I'm not successful. So,
but
you can't fail if you never try.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it, Sarah. I don't know. Is there anything else that you got like have on your mind? Is there anything you want to ask me as while we've got each other here?
I don't know. We covered so much today. We covered a lot. And I wasn't even prepared. I was like, we'll just see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think just like the thing that I hope people go away with is like that everyone is allowed to like what they like, and everyone is allowed to do what they feel like doing, and it doesn't affect anyone except for them. Unless they are physically harming someone or particularly targeting a specific group of people, they're not doing anything wrong. Like, mind your business.
Mind your business. Just mind your business.
Mind your business. Like, let people do what they're going to do.
Yeah, man.
Everyone likes stuff, and if they say they like it, just let them like it.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Holy crap, that sounds way too good. Yeah, that might be a little too perfect, Sarah.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe just like back off the ambition just a little bit, but I know that could be tough. Where, as if people don't already know, where can people find you on the internet, follow your stream, all that good stuff?
You can find me at twitch.tv/I'm Sarah Daniels. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Sarah Daniels. Instagram, it's Sarah Daniels. And I don't know where else. There are places somewhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being so open and honest and just willing to come on and shoot the shit and just talk about everything and anything.
Of course. Anytime.
This is one of this chat. So over the last couple of weeks, actually, I've been kind of wanting to explore a little bit of just what goes in the minds of all these creators. You've noticed over the last few weeks, we've had Antonio again, we've had JoAfterWork, now with Sarah. We've had a lot of people with that creative itch, that creative muscle that has been trained somewhere in our brain. And I obviously connect with that very strongly, and there's a particular kind of like characteristic I think that comes along with that. And I wanted to explore that with Sarah on a number of different levels. So I'm very grateful. She obviously, thank you, Sarah, if you're listening to this. Thank you for being there and for just going along with it. I'm very, like, she didn't know who I was at all. Like, I just like reached out to this tweet and I was like, hey, would you like to be on this podcast? So, and she like responded instantly. She easily could have just like, it could have been lost in the shuffle of all the different responses to that particular tweet. So thank you for doing that. You definitely did not have to. And I think people hopefully gleaned a little something from that conversation, whether the deep stuff, or maybe people are just going to go back and try Final Fantasy IX. Maybe I'll go try Final Fantasy IX. Who knows? Guys, please follow Sarah Daniels at I'm Sarah Daniels. Thank you guys for listening and subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, leaving a comment. All of the things, sending your 3 grateful things. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri. You can follow the website, We The Nerdy. Follow the show, We The GamerCast, because that, I think, helps somehow. If you like this, you can also listen to a couple other things I do. One of the shows, If We Ran Nintendo, I do with my friend Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo Guru, and Jason Lacey. You can follow that show at If We Ran Nintendo. And I record an Xbox show while I drive to work. It's called the Xbox Drive. You can follow that at the Xbox Drive. You can support me and so many other amazing creators at patreon.com/makeusbetter. I think maybe the best Patreon on the internet. So if you guys like to shovel a couple bucks over there, $10 and up gets you at the top of the show. $3 and up, you're in the show notes. And any dollars and up, you get my immense gratitude. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to Gary Gray and Adam Leonard for drawing the things. Thank you to Antonio Guillen for videoing the things. And thank you to Dave Moore for hosting all the things. Last week, I got caught. Rambling a little bit. And if you guys didn't, I record while listening to the music. I know exactly how much time I have before like Jason comes on in. It keeps these end pieces from being way too long and rambly. Unless I get all the stuff out of the way, and then I just kind of have to like fill space at the end like this, just a little bit. You can hear the music kind of coming down a little bit. Otherwise, this is 165, episode 165. Oh no, I tricked myself. It's time for Jason. Guys, I ruined the ending. It's time for Jason. He's coming here anytime soon. Are you ready for him? I'm ready for him. It's time for Jason. I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye-bye.
Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Sean, where are you? Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Jason! 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 Jason!